Hello. All right. So I took a couple months off, and not because anything happened, it's just life was going on. So in December, on New Year's Eve, I got engaged. And then in April, I actually got married to my fiance. So it's really exciting. We're starting a new chapter in our life. It kind of looks the same. It's just tracking all the things, lifting heavy things, and doing all the things. So we are um, just doing it together now. So, um, yeah, and the kids kind of like are doing all sorts of different activities. So, um, going from a single mom of one to a blended family with three kiddos and, you know, having another human in the house definitely helps, but also presents its own challenges. Um, and really, nothing really changed during those months with my programming. In fact, my programming is exactly the same as what it was in terms of training. So I'm doing 3 days of lower body still, 2 days of upper body. The only thing that's changed is that we are full blown into prep at this point. We kicked off prep right after the wedding, so the second week of April, and we've just been grinding away. So my coach has been really graceful in my calorie deficit. So he actually cut my calories very slowly, and we just today at the check-in has decided to be extremely aggressive to see what's going to happen with my body composition. I have been losing fats. We are in a fat loss phase right now, and essentially what that means is I have less calories and I have more cardio. So I still have the same training blocks, I just have more cardio to complete. Before my training blocks during bulk, I didn't have any cardio. I was like blessed not to have any cardio at all. And then when we started adding in cardio, it was, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Now I'm up to 6 days a week, and I'm actually up to 6 days a week doing 90 minutes, which is super aggressive. So that's not replacing any of my training, it's additional to my training. And I'm sure a lot of folks listening are like, wow, how do you do, an hour of training and then plus 90 minutes of cardio? Do you work? Do you sleep? Do you eat? Yep, I do all that, and I also mom. So essentially, I don't have to do the 90 minutes all together. They're broken up into splits. So I usually work from home, and I have it split. I do have to be in the office 2 days a week now. That was another thing that had changed in my life. But my scheduling is pretty flexible for the most part. So when the kids are at school and they're doing their activities or they're asleep, I'm usually up training super early with my husband. We go to the gym while the kiddos are still asleep. And then after everyone leaves, I either work for a couple hours and do an hour of cardio while, on a meeting or something along those lines. Or I, take a break for the day, do my cardio an hour, and then go back to working. And then usually after lunch, I take work meetings while I'm just walking on the treadmill. My cardio right now, I've been trying to split it up with cycling and running, or cycling and walking. I almost said running because I actually asked my coach if I could run, and he was like, that is a mistake. We are not going to run for multiple reasons. No ankle injuries, and we don't want to lose muscle mass. And I was like, okay, got it. And slowly, casually just slipped my running shoes away. Like, oh, I wasn't going to run. I used to be an avid runner. I sometimes miss it. Sometimes I still hate it. So it depends on what my mood is like. So that's where we're kind of at right now. Show day is supposed to be 2 weeks from this point right this second. We are kind of flexible. I hired a posing coach. She's great. She's also on the same team as I am, so that's helpful. She has the same coach as I do too. So we kind of talk a little bit about, different mindset things, how the programs are the same or different because our programs are different. And then also mindset in terms of prepping for a show, where we need to be, because I wasn't really making the progress I wanted to make with my fat loss phase. So this is something that I've really struggled with, and I think I am just the body type that hangs on to it as long as possible and then sheds it all at once. So that's kind of what we're seeing now, is my body is just dropping weight pretty quickly. I'm starting to see some changes more along in my face, like my cheekbones are starting to show up again. Before, I felt like my face was really round. Historically, my face has not been really round, but during bulk, it fills out quite a bit. um, and then I'm also seeing some lines, some definition in my legs. My back is starting to lean out. So we are seeing some definite changes there. And we're starting to see that snatched waistline, right? We're starting to see the hourglass shape take place where shoulders are more prominent, lower body is more prominent, and then slimmed out waistline. So that is the goal. That's the shape we're looking for. But when I was talking to my posing coach, she said, if you're not ready in 2 weeks, there's always another show, and there's another show after that, and another show after that. So the goal for this season is to get my pro card. And for whatever reason, sometimes you get so locked into a plan that you're so dialed in that you can't think outside of that plan. So I just had to have her tell me there's going to be another show. It doesn't have to be this one. And if your heart is set on this one, like, it doesn't have to be. So we just need to adjust and adapt. And I think that has a lot to do with life, right? Like, we always are constantly adjusting and adapting when things aren't really on our timeline that we can control, or whatever those aspects are. So we're just going to continue grinding it out and see what happens. I feel good for the most part. I've heard a lot of people complain about not being able to sleep during a cut. I'm not really sure why. As of this morning with my check-in, I'm at 1,600 calories. I have been sleeping really well. I've been sleeping really heavy. I think I'm really, really tired with the double sessions of going to the gym and lifting and then also doing cardio. I think it just totally wipes me out. But outside of that, my energy levels are pretty consistent. I actually feel pretty good. But my coach is doing a really good job of keeping my carbs high enough where I'm in that constant fat burn area that I need to be in, and also keeping my fats pretty healthy. So I'm balancing it out somehow, some way. And I wouldn't say I'm the most joyful person during this process. Right before I need to eat meals, I'm definitely agitated with like simple little things. My husband is also cutting weight. He's enduring this pain with me, which is great. I think that when we look back, we might not do this again together. Having two hangry people in the same household is hard. And I'm also like on him lately about his macros. Like, are you sure you're measuring your food correctly? Because that looks like a lot. But he's obviously been doing this longer than I have, so I just need to like cut it with the peanut gallery comments. I think it comes out of like a jealousy thing. Like, you're gonna eat those potatoes. That's a lot of potatoes. I want potatoes. So there's that. But I don't think I'm not hateful. I am trying to stay positive. I have noticed this cut has been harder, or this prep has been harder on me in terms of staying positive, in a positive mindset and stuff like that. And my coach just explained it to me as like, during bulk, we want the number to go up, right? So it's very easy. The number is going up. We're happy. We're eating all the things. Life is good. And it's really easy to get stuck into a negative thought loop when things aren't going the way we want them to go when we start cutting calories. And then you're tired and you're already irritable, and then nothing is working out, and then you just kind of get down, and it's just downhill from there. Like, you kind of have to break that cycle of getting out of that thought loop. So I have started a gratitude journal, which has helped. Just stating like 3 things I'm grateful for first thing in the morning while I'm getting ready. Usually it's when I'm eating my cereal and no one's talking to me before we go to the gym. And then I read them at the gym. And I'm also focused in on other things right now too. So if I don't find something else to focus on, I can become really obsessive about things. So like prep, I can become obsessive with what my body composition looks like, what the weight is, all that stuff. And so what is working out really nicely is I'm actually going for a technical certification, and a lot of my time and energy is focused in on that as well as work. So in my spare time, rather than scrolling through Instagram or feeling worse about myself because social media is like, I'm, reviewing flashcards and taking practice tests and listening to lectures, and that has helped immensely. So I think if we find another purpose, whatever that purpose is, during prep, it's helpful for the mind. So I will do better about posting these videos. I'm so sorry about not posting as frequently as possible. I did try to start doing more shorts so that way you all could see a little bit of the progress. I am really excited about one short that I'm developing. I want to build every single check-in I have saved on my phone. So I want to put a compilation together and then show individuals what the growing process up and growing process down looks like over the 52 weeks, because I'm about to hit 52 weeks with this coach. So it has been a full year. So once we hit that, I'm going to post that content, and that'll be sometime in June. And then my show is going to be in June as well. So if it doesn't happen, the first show in June that we had planned, then we had a second show that was already planned in June, so that'll be our next target date. So I look forward to keeping you all in the loop on that. Definitely make sure you subscribe. I do post other content on Instagram and TikTok. It's under the same handle as this one. It's at Amy's Midlift Crisis. And so you can check that stuff out there. All right, see y'all.